just recorded 2 videos and I didn't even record audio. Time to go again. Okay, the Shanghai Dragons. Let's get on with it. They haven't made too many changes. Let's go kept, lost, and added. They've kept Izayaki, Fletter, Lip, Void, Lee Jae Gon, Fate, and Who Are You? They've lost Develop and Molly. They've added Bebe. That's not too much of a change. They've lost 2 of their sub-players and replaced them with Bebe. Now, Develop only played a few games for the Dragons and wasn't a starter, and I don't think he would have been over people like Fletter and Lip. So, you know, it's kind of a loss. Yes, I think Develop was a good player, but now he gets to play on charge where he's actually a mainstay. Molly has also left the roster, a fantastic talent, but again, suffered the same fate as Develop, really. Didn't really get too much playtime because they had just incredible supports anyway. He's actually gone with Develop to charge, so that's pretty cool. They've added Bebe, the man with the killer smile, which is pretty awesome. I think Bebe can work in this team somewhat. But overall, I think the Dragons won't change all too much. It'll be the same old championship winning roster. The only speed bump they might encounter is at the very start of the season. They might be a little bit slow to pick up, but it will still be the Dragons, and they'll still have some of the best players in the world on their team. We'll go through the roster, or the roles. So we'll start with the DPS. There isn't much to say here. We still have Fletter and Lip, some of the best in the world. That won't change, I can't imagine, unless Overwatch 2 somehow throws them through a loop. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's just not going to work. I do hope Team 4 are watching, though, because Fletter breaks the game, it feels like, some of the time with his play, especially his Tracer play. It just feels like he's inhuman. I hope they watch him and just make sure they're paying attention to how broken he's going to make some characters, but they probably won't be broken for other people. It'll just like Fletter is actually just breaking the game. Lip will also just continue to dominate, and both of their hero pools are amazing, and I can't imagine there's going to be any hero that's going to be released, like Sojourn, for example, that is going to throw a spanner in the works. It's not going to happen. Who Are You? Will he play? Probably not. Signs point to no. He might play as much as he did play last season, just a couple of times. Do we know if Who Are You still good? Nah, not sure, honestly. It's really hard to tell at this point. I would like to see him played a little bit more just to see how good he is compared to a lot of other DPS players in the league right now. But for now, I think they're just going to stick with Fletter a little. I feel like this is going to be my shortest video ever on a team because they haven't really changed too much, and it's the Dragons. But we will go through tanks too. So Void and Fate are still on the roster. With one less tank, it's unlikely going to phase the Dragons. Unlike some other teams, I think, which did rely on one of their core strengths was their synergy of their tank line. And the first name that really comes to my head is Atlanta Reign and Gator and Hawk. But the Dragons, although I don't think it will affect them all too much either, but a lot of their success was pinned on Hawk and Gator just being an unreal tank duo. I don't think it will phase the Dragons too much. Having a Wrecking Ball player is going to be quite nice, and Fate has actually piloted that pretty well in recent times, so that'd be great. I think dive meta is going to be a big thing in Overwatch 2, just on the surface of things and what we've seen and what we've kind of heard. Both Void and Fate can fill a lot of those bases in dive meta, and just in general anyway. So tanks, I don't think there's need to worry there. It's still going to be, as much as it's stupid to say, it's still going to be, I think, their weak point of the roster because they have the best in the world DPS and the best in the world flex support. So, there you go. There's the small quiz. Okay, we can talk about something different now. We can talk about Bebe joining the support line. Of course, being a flex support for the Washington Justice, the main question everybody's going to be asking, is he going to replace Izayaki? Probably not. But the thing with Overwatch 2, that we might see a double flex support meta. My brain is more focusing on the fact that we might have double flex support nowadays, and it's something that I kind of wish I thought about a long time ago when doing a lot of the reviews, because I just see it being more and more likely. The emphasis on DPS players, it feels like, and them being helped by things like Ana and Zenyatta. I think it's actually, there could be a point where we do see double flex. Now, that was where we're going to see Bebe play if they do end up playing double flex support. Of course, Lee Jae Gon is going to be playing Lucio for most of the time, I can imagine. A little bit of Brigitte here and there, and filling in other gaps, I can imagine. But if we do see double flex support, Bebe will get playtime. If we don't see that as a reality, I feel like he's just going to play as much as Molly has, which is only a few times here and there. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing that Dragons picked up Bebe because they can train him under the Dragons and just make him an even better player than he already has been, especially with their coaching staff, and then potentially sell him on like they've done with Develop and Molly. Quite literally developing talent to then sell on a little bit later on. Hey, they've been on a championship winning roster. They're probably pretty decent, considering they trained under some of the best in the world. I think Bebe is going to suffer this same fate if we don't see double flex support, but I'm excited to see if they do actually play Bebe. Now, overview, the Dragons have stuck with most of their roster. A championship winning one at that. I don't see changes down the line. They might pick up an extra player here and there, but it won't be a mainstay in the roster, that is for sure. And I think fans of the Dragons and just viewers in general can expect the same kind of dominance, honestly. I don't think anybody can doubt the Dragons going into Overwatch 2, a brand new game, because everybody's going to be on that same playing field anyway, and the Dragons, although they may be a bit slow to start, are still some of the best in the world at their individual roles and heroes. Like, it's the Dragons, for God's sake. They've recovered from their initial season of the Overwatch League, don't worry, although their scoreline, they're getting to close to even, which is insane. If you look at their overall scoreline across the Overwatch League, it's ridiculous. It's insane just how bad that season was compared to the Dragons nowadays. So yeah, that's going to be it. What do you think about the Dragons? Are they going to do well? I think so. Can't imagine too many people are going to disagree. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you later.